I just thought it was a really cute house, and I knew that was the one that was for me and my son.
Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy.
I did not get a home inspection. The house looked perfect.
What a mess.
We're gonna do a lot of damage here, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Boom. Your heart stops.
You just don't do these things. You can blow the house up.
Spend our money right, we don't lose. Spend our money wrong, that could cost you.
Virginia was looking for a house for her and her son, and actually, you know what? She found a nice little home, just perfect. Virginia didn't get a home inspection. Problem arose as soon as she moved in. If you're not going to get a home inspector to give you the right opinion, then you're going to be based on your own opinion. And is that the right one?
When I was looking for a house, I probably looked at about maybe 15, 16, because I had to stay within a certain price range, and they all looked basically about the same. They were all bungalows. They all needed updates. And so when I saw this house, I had never been in a 1.5 story before, and I was surprised when I opened the door. I can see the kitchen. I can see it was updated. It had the backyard, and the 2 bedrooms are quite large, actually. I just thought it was a really cute house, and I knew that was the one that was for me and my son. So, yeah, I knew the search was over. Luca and I, my son, we are close. It'll be for him, really, because the house was bought with him in mind. With regards to the inspection, you know, my mortgage, it was maxed out already to the limit, and I had asked the agent, do I need an inspection? And he had said, you know, when you take a look around the place, everything looks new. If it was a house where you can see it's not new and things needed to be done, then, you know, for sure you would need an inspection. So then I thought, well, you know, it looks good. I'll forego it.
You must be Virginia.
You're Mike Holmes.
I'm Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Nice little house. So you bought a home and you didn't get a home inspection.
No, I didn't.
How do you feel about that now?
I regret it. I regret it. The first thing that actually went wrong was before we even moved into the house. I realized that there was some sort of insect or flea problem or something, because my son's wearing these socks and you saw all this black stuff on it, like insects. And my legs were always so itchy and scratchy. It was getting like as if you had mosquito bites. And it turned out that, I guess because there were cats here before and there was a dog, I guess at one point, I guess some sort of fleas. I had to get an exterminator to come out, and the carpet had to be removed in the basement.
What are you doing?
I was already working 6 days a week just to basically, you know, keep up, which is why the basement was never done, because I didn't have the money to do it at that point. I didn't even want to move in anymore. I thought, I just want to sell, because who knows if it's going to come back. You have your furniture in. You know, I had never come across this problem before.
All right, it appears we have a new kitchen. Out a door, we're supposed to have a register here. There is no heat register at all in the kitchen.
The kitchen, I'd go down there first thing in the morning, it's cold. I would actually turn on the furnace, but there's no air duct in there for the heat to actually even heat the kitchen. So basically what I would do is turn on the oven, so it eventually would heat up so that you get some heat in there.
No, I'm just gonna assume, because there has been many changes within the home, that whoever tiled the floor tiled directly over top of the register. And that's just a guess at this point, and I'll find out. I'm using this tool just to verify whether or not we have ductwork in the floor in the kitchen. So I'd see an even temperature in the floor, and it shows nothing. It's even picking up my footprints. Look at the footprints in the floor, me walking, my heat transferring from my own boots into the floor, but not showing anything to do with a duct line in the floor or a register. So if we look at the corner, see the bottom of the cabinet here? It is definitely a cool breeze at the bottom of this cabinet. It is. Gotta ask yourself why. Why isn't there? We need heat in here, don't you think so? It's plumbing, it's kitchen, we want our feet warm, there's towels on the floor, but no heat? Kind of foolish. So you feel good, you buy a house, you come in, you see that it's got a fairly nice little tight kitchen, but new cabinets, and they brag about it. There was no hood.
No hood.
Was that duct line there?
No, I had to have it put in because it was impossible. You're cooking, you're frying, smoke everywhere, and you know.
There's pros here, okay? We have a gas stove. You have nice clearance for your hood here, so this is proper. Whoever did this correctly. I really don't want to see a flex line that comes from your range hood. I'd rather see a fixed pipe. Problem with anything to do with a flex is it constricts airflow. And it's nothing really in code that says you can't do it. It's just not the way to do it.
I started getting concerned when there was a problem with the plumbing. It started with the sink in the bathroom where the water slowly would take a few minutes to drain away, then it would take hours, then overnight, then it would stay on for days.
Your water is sitting at the bottom here.
It's been an issue.
It's been an issue?
It's gone lower because it was about a few inches last night. My son took a shower, I took a shower.
When? This morning?
Last night.
Last night?
Last night.
So this water's been sitting there
Yes.
since last night?
But it's going slowly, so by tonight it should be, or midday it should be gone.
They built up the floor and turned it into a shower. So that means at one time, this was properly plumbed. We did have air behind the water. If we look in the backyard and look up, we're gonna see the stack vent is in this wall. One, this could be the contractor who did the work, did all the plumbing wrong, and I'm talking about the drainage. Two, we could have a major blockage within the system. Now, it's an older bathroom that has somewhat of a facelift. So I don't know what they've done, but I'm gonna find out what they've done. I don't need to even take you through the house anymore. I'm gonna go through the house now. And I'm telling you, we're gonna open up a few things. We're probably gonna do a little bit of damage. Then I'm gonna bring you back and I'm gonna point out everything I found and give you an idea of what it's gonna cost to fix everything, just to let you know maybe why you should have got a proper home inspection.
When you're looking for a house, you don't think of safety. You think that's like a foregone conclusion.
You just don't do these things. You can blow the house up.
I did not get a home inspection. The house looked perfect, so I wasn't expecting these issues to crop up.
So this water's been sitting there
Yes.
since last night? Wow, I tell you, you are a dream to the real estate agent. One of the most important tools that we can have is the camera. This is very simple because whatever I see, I'm gonna take a picture of and now create a documented report that you, the homeowner, now have. It can see what I see. Well, whoever put in a dishwasher doesn't know how to install a dishwasher. Do not tie the drain hose directly into the pipe. It must be tied before the trap. So before the trap is on this side, usually we do it in between the two sink taps. It's a double sink. So we'd have a TY here, put it right into the TY. That way it's directly before the trap. It's just not right. So here's the center of water right here. Let's look at this being water full. Where's this receptacle? This receptacle is within 3 feet of the sink. If you're going to put a receptacle so close to water, let's make sure it's GFI protected. And GFIs is a ground fault interrupter, and then that's just a receptacle. That means if you're gonna be within 3 feet of water, you must have a GFI. It's wired properly. Now I'm hitting the release for a GFI, so it tells me there's not even a GFI breaker. Cute little cat doors all the way throughout the house. Somebody really loved their cats, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fabulous. Somebody's put in a new panel. Improper clips, too much loose wiring around the panel. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. More electrical. Why a junction point right there? Man, that's very dangerous. See how the lines are around this box here? This is not how we do it. They're properly tied in. If these just rub up against the side, short it right out. Look at this one electrical point. One, too many wires in the box. Two, it's so tight with no plate. It's an electrical hazard. Now, they've done work everywhere else. Imagine where it is. You know, I move a couple of tiles, I find boxes, I'm looking around, I'm seeing it everywhere. This is a no-no. And there's a junction point here, 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 and they're all so close together. When you're doing electrical, clean up the wires that don't need to be there. Don't turn it into a spaghetti factory. Clean it up, bring it to one point. Who the hell runs a copper line with soldered joints for a gas line? I don't know anyone who does this. This is incorrect. We need to look at this closely, how the metal comes up and touches galvanized. Copper and galvanized, or copper and steel, they don't get along. The metals will actually create a corrosion within the pipe, especially the copper. Now, the one you don't want a corrosion in is this copper because it is gas. You just don't do these things. You can blow the house up. Now that there's no carpet on the floor, you know, I get to see what they've done. And we can see on the floor that they've broken the floor right to the front of the house, directly through to where the new tub is, even to the point where the floor is broken right here, and that's where the drain is going to be to the tub. Big thing that I don't like is the electrical right at the tub. That's a big freaking no-no. There's no electrical permits, so you don't know whether or not it's safe to play with. So does it mean it was done right? Well, maybe. But when we see the electrical that's incorrect, who the hell says this is done right? No air behind water. Oh, look, there's a clean out on the trap. I've said this a million times. If you're going to buy an old home, get a proper home inspection and bring in someone that can scope the drains. Don't finish the basement. Don't do anything till you know. It's only gonna take them an hour to scope the drains. Good advice for 250 bucks, I think. Great size backyard for the son, that's for sure. The house is in pretty good shape. It's amazing what people can do to contaminate it. Just amazing.
Hey, Mike.
Mr. Bennett. So, you know what that is?
That is a inside vacuum plug-in.
Yes. So it was good for pulling out the car in the winter to vacuum out your car to pull the cool air inside the house. Let's eliminate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, there's a lot more I'm going to show you. Come on in. Virginia lives here, and nice lady. She lives with her son. I guess you noticed right away.
Yeah, there's no railing. Well, there's no
There's a rail.
wall.
It's just on the wrong side. So we're going to need to bring in our rail guy and see what we can do here. Let's go upstairs first, and we'll finish downstairs.
Okay.
Now, we need to find an area to get up into the attic.
What's that closet like?
We may be able to come in at this point here, so remove the light.
Okay. Check insulation, obviously, up there.
Check insulation, check ventilation, check for mold, check for critters, check. In the kids' room, great little room. Not proper registers underneath the windows, but we have the heat register in the interior wall.
Strange, okay.
So I see signs of condensation. You see the dripping on the edge there?
Yep.
You can see it from here. Okay, now that's just telling me we're having a surface issue, and that's hot meeting cold. Why is that? Is there hot air in the attic? And I really, I'm wondering, you know, and it's blowing down, and what it's doing is creating hot meeting cold, and it's creating
Where's the
condensation.
air returns?
Good question.
Okay, so there's no air returns. That's another
I
good
haven't
reason.
found any yet.
It might make it breathe
Probably
a little
help
easier.
make the air move throughout the house, which brings us right to the basement.
Okay.
We have a lot of vents throughout the whole house that appear to be chase runs, etc. There's nothing that this is working. It's not a return air. Let's talk to Gary and see what we do have in here.
Okay. Hey. Can we repaint in here, please?
I think she'd like that. Now, it's probably not a bad idea to pull the ceiling down here, because this is going to serve for a couple of things. It'll help us reroute electrical. It'll help us investigate why there's no register in the kitchen, how we can put it into a register in the kitchen. Let's pull down all the suspended ceiling. I know we have all kinds of electrical issues, all kinds. Any questions?
No, I got to read my homework for the night. So I'll get the guys in as fast as I can here, and we'll just get it started.
And we'll do so much. We'll bring the homeowner back in, show her what we found, and then go crazy and fix it. The truth is, we don't want to take the house down. We're just going to come close to it.
Okay, so guys, let's get some blue skin on all the tiles, okay? We're gonna be everywhere in this house. We have HVAC, plumbing, electrical, all happening, okay? So they're doing a full test and troubleshoot on the whole house at this point.
That's it, Joe.
Joey?
Hey, Mo.
There you are, by the panel, I bet, right? That's where I always find you. How you doing, man?
How are you?
Good, so you're already getting into it, eh?
Yes, I am.
So you're gonna find all kinds of things throughout this house, and that's what we're afraid of. We think the electrical issue might be a little bigger than what we see on the surface here.
Okay.
Definitely take a look at it. Let me know what's going on. I'm gonna be dropping the ceilings in the downstairs basement here for you.
Here's one problem right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires in this box. This box should really take no more than 4 wires. I'm sure even if you move some of this insulation, you'll find more.
I don't think it's a venting issue at this point.
No, to me, just I took a quick look at all the fixtures in the bathroom here, and I've got a toilet that runs properly. I have a sink that runs fairly well. This was not a clogging issue. This was not a venting problem. It was just literally a minor adjustment that had to be done. What I've done is I fixed the pop-up assembly just to create a bit more space. So this area is solved. This is the only problem to me. It's just a maintenance that has been neglected over the years. And it's just caused literally by hair buildup, soap buildup.
Oh, that's a nasty surprise.
This is what I actually anticipated. It's typical for shower drains.
I just realized they had pets here before. There's damage all throughout the house.
Then,
that can't be from one person. Ugh, gross.
The residual of water that was sitting on the floor here, it all drained out. So
As soon as you pulled that out.
as soon as I pulled that out, I'll still test it with water, but I'm confident that this will solve the problem.
She'll be happy about that. A little gross, but you fixed it. Thank you. It's solved.
First issue I see right off the bat, and this is a big recipe for disaster. This is a return air for our furnace. Basically, we have air that gets delivered back to our furnace from the whole house. We have a gas line in the return. If this ever leaks for whatever reason, you got natural gas going back to your furnace through your return air. This is a big hazard. This can blow your house up. No heating run in the kitchen. Basically, our best location would be beside our window or our door. These are our cold spots. So in this kitchen is going to be installing a heating run.
I want somebody cutting around the room, okay? Really what we're looking for is heating runs upstairs into the kitchen. We know they had to be there at some point. I need to heat that room some way, and the fastest way to get there is right through here. Where does that water line go to? It's feeding the fridge, but where's it coming from? Okay, well, there's where the heat register was. There's no heat line coming to this and feeding that kitchen, so we've eliminated that possibility anyway. We can see where it was. So at this point, talking to Gary, finding out where we can run one, where we can get it, and we'll go from there. But definitely, I never would have turned a heat run into a water line.
Basically what we're doing is this used to be our old heating vent for our room. So what we've done is we've disconnected it, and we're now going to turn this into our return air. Wayne, you see it?
Yeah, I can just see it.
All right, just mark return air number 2 on it. And we're going to put in new heating runs underneath the windows. I find this a lot in a lot of older homes. They don't put return airs on the second floors. So they have a lot of warm air dumping into it, just not recirculating.
Okay, we do not have an attic access in this whole house, and we have a nice big closet. So come in the closet with me, my friend. I actually want you to start busting a hole in here. And unfortunately, you're gonna make the hole, but I gotta go through it. MJ.
Yes, sir.
Come on down, I want to take a peek up there. Well, I definitely think there's enough insulation in the attic, but the air is a little stale up here, so I want to get better contracting in and check the venting.
So what we're doing here is we're removing the existing vents. We're installing a little better performing product. This particular vent here, a little more critter resistant. It's fully encaged. We'll work in this situation a little better. Damon's been inside and actually opened an attic access for this lower portion of the roof so we can see what we're dealing with. Well, traditionally on most roofs, we have roof vents towards the top of the roof. What we've actually got here is 2 separate attics, a lower attic and an upper attic, that's separated by a cathedral ceiling. We've got gable vents acting as intakes for that upper attic, and the whirlybird working as the exhaust. So what we have to do is we have to open up soffit intake underneath here that will allow to vent into this lower attic and exhaust through these 2 roof vents. Initially in the upper attic, we thought that the whirlybird may need replacing. It's actually in good functioning form. The bearings aren't squeaking. It's spinning well, so it's in good working condition, good working order.
Damon, if you look inside this box here, this no way is the work of a professional. It's disgusting. Just disgusting. Oh my God, what a mess. It's a big mess. Look here. Here's a wire that's not moretted.
What a
Another wire
mess.
that's not moretted. Another wire, what they thought maybe tape would be fine, is not moretted. This is a disaster.
That's a little dangerous too, isn't it?
We have a 40 amp breaker that's for the stove.
Yeah.
It's on, wires coming out of it. So I'm tracing it in the basement.
Yeah.
And I lose it in the part of the ceiling that's finished.
It ends up here?
I don't know, because if you look behind the stove, I don't have a plug.
Well, you have a plug right there.
That's a 120 line.
Oh.
So we're talking about-
You have a stove plug coming up.
And I got a 240 line, and I don't know where their other end is going.
Oh,
so right
that's a
now,
big deal.
Right now, I've turned it off. Oh, and by the way, that extra wire up top, the wire that's coming through the wall, that jumps off to the plug.
So they've taken electrical off of that box, brought it through the easy way and down there.
Well, that's why that's supposed to be for a light over the sink. So when you turn on your light, that's how it powers up that receptacle. I recommend a rewire.
Well,
you got ungrounded upstairs.
Yeah.
You got ungrounded on this floor. You got this electrical nightmare here in the kitchen.
Okay, that is a huge job right there.
Yeah.
We're talking
And I did find overloaded circuits in the house. I do have one circuit that's got 30 items on it, by the way.
So it doesn't end there?
Oh, no.
Okay, let me talk to Mike and I'll get back to you, buddy.
Okay.
We're doing a rewire, unfortunately.
The whole house.
Yeah,
Why?
there's a lot of ungrounded lines. Also, they hit off one breaker, half the house goes dead.
Here's the problem. She didn't get a home inspector. This is what I'm talking about, because now that's an $8,000 to $12,000 fix just for electrical, and that's not repairs.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna do it now. It has been renovated and it has been messed with.
Yeah.
And this is gonna cost an awful lot of money. Maybe she should have got a home inspector, and the right home inspector. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Virginia.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again.
Hi, Virginia.
Hi,
Good
Damon.
to see you.
Nice to see you.
I'll make this day maybe a little worse than it is outside, but then I'm gonna make it much brighter by the end of it, okay? Come on inside.
Thank you.
Well, we have cleaned up your house. I mean, what we try to do is protect the house and lay down. We don't want to damage anything. We're going to damage a lot, actually. Let me explain a few things. It probably would have been better if you got a home inspector to tell you some of the things that we saw. Let's see, you need to really rerun all the ductwork in your house, and that means we're going to rerun all the ductwork in your house. Electrical, complete rewire of electrical. Throughout the years in this house, somebody's done a lot of renovations and had messed with the electrical. We have a lot on too many circuits, so too much overload on one circuit, and a lot of circuits that actually even Joe turned off one on the panel and turned off almost half the house, which is not good. You got a pretty big panel there. A lot of ungrounded outlets, correct?
That's right.
And a lot of hidden junction points. Whoever did the work in here didn't do it with permits, didn't do it properly.
It was an eye-opener. I didn't realize all these other electrical issues. I mean, I looked around and I saw all these panels, these, a lot of outlets, but I didn't realize behind all the stuff that he saw. I really, truly thought that this was one house. He wasn't gonna find anything more than what I told him.
The problem with you being here is pulling down this ceiling and the ceiling in your kitchen, the ceiling in that room, and really doing a lot of exploratory work downstairs, running all new electrical, is that it's gonna make your world just a little bit upside down. You're gonna be breathing in all the crap, and it's better to get you out of the house for safety, okay? Let's start downstairs. So we're now up in the area of, so far, and I haven't told you everything, 60 grand.
Easy.
I'm so grateful that his whole team is in here getting this house, because the amount of money that it would have cost me is just, I would never have been able to have done it.
If you're in the tub and it's full of water and you can get up and you can flick your timer switch, but you're standing in water, you are 100% grounded. And if for any reason this is not wired properly, boom, your heart stops. There is no stopping that. We have rules when it comes to electrical. We have rules when it comes to gas, that the copper cannot meet other metals because simply it will corrode it. And running that gas fume, that natural gas through the ductwork, bringing it back to the furnace, brings it right to the flame. And what can happen when gas hits flame?
Explosion.
Yeah.
That's your house, not mine. I don't want your house to explode, so we're gonna fix it, okay? Let's go upstairs and I'm gonna explain the condensation on your walls.
I haven't even put up any photographs because there's a concern about if there's water getting through, I don't want the photographs to damage, so that's why the walls are blank. And I really hate that after moving in here that I can't put up photographs.
Okay, I can actually explain in your son's room. Did you have any condensation at all here?
Yes, around that wall.
You did?
Exactly.
Okay. Here's what's happening. This is supposed to be a cold zone, right? Because it is an attic zone. Any attic zone must be cold. This wall is not insulated. Heat's driving through it, meeting the cold, and it's creating condensation on the wall.
I couldn't figure it
Hot is
out
meeting
here,
cold.
and my son's room exactly the same part where the ceiling and the wall.
Because they
exactly.
insulated it incorrectly. You just keep smiling.
Thank you, Mike.
We're gonna make it right. He's gonna do most of the work. He's gonna make sure everyone, he's gonna...
It'll trickle down,
Yes.
but yeah.
And we'll bring you back and we'll get you back home again. Okay?
Appreciate it. I'm happy. I had one person tell me, you should sell your house. You should sell your house with all this plumbing and the water. And I go, you know, why should I sell the house? But now I'm glad that the problems are going to be fixed and I really won't have to sell my house.
Let's help with that real quick, guys, and we'll get into it. Did you cut the perimeter of the ceiling already, MJ? Yes, sir. Sweet. Say goodbye to the stucco. We dropped the ceiling for two main purposes: to run new pot lights and to get Gary's ductwork tied up to the ceiling as much as possible. It's a little bit more work, but at the end of the day, you're helping trades out. You're actually expediting the job a little bit, getting it going. Our demo day is not really over, okay? Gary needs this removed right here. And I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, he already wrote on it, remove.
Okay, I give up. You tear it off. Let's see. Look at that. Come on.
Basically, this heating run is going to be running along the ceiling here. So, you know, finished look here is going to be a bulkhead all the way down to hide our heating run. The joists, you know, they're not cooperating. They're just going in different directions. So we got no choice. We got to go under the ceiling.
Keith, that's the railing system, is it?
Correct. Maple rail, paint grade, either way.
Just making it safe for them. She has a little boy, right? And it was not right the way it was. We didn't want him falling over the edge.
I'll unload here and get set up, and then we'll get started.
I'll see you in there.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks. This is maple, and the pickets are paint grade, so they might either stain it or they might paint it. They have a choice.
Okay, Lorenzo, pull! Instead of making holes everywhere, we're pulling the wires up through this cavity with a fish stick, and now he's gonna actually send it over to our next receptacle. Okay, I got enough!
Right now, I'm disconnecting the old gas line. The old gas line was a big problem. One, the fittings they've used to connect it, big issues. You're not allowed to use these type of fittings. Two, they used copper plumbing lines and soldered the gas lines together. They have this gas line running through a return air. Big, big issue. We already have signs of it wearing. That's a big hazard, potential for an explosion. So we're cutting the old line out. We're gonna run our new one. The old copper line was touching the steel. The two metals together is corrosive. This is completely shielded. It has a shielding on it. It's aluminum, you know, it's a double thick casing, and it's safe.
Oh, you're putting in the last one.
Last one, Damon.
Very nice. It looks really good, man.
Thank you.
Nice job. Happy with it?
I am very. You're not gonna get it any stronger than that, man.
You know, he's gonna be testing this thing out.
Oh, I'm
full time.
sure. All boys will.
Very nice job, man.
Thank
Looks
you very
fantastic.
much.
Thanks, guys. So what about the time command and the switch behind the? We're eliminating those, right?
No, those are staying. They are GFI protected back at the panel.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it looks like whoever did this kind of knew what they were doing.
Bit of a noisy day today. We got the generators running like crazy. Joey is doing a panel swap today, which means all the power in the house is gone. Hard to work, but necessary. Better Contracting is here today doing all the eaves troughs and fascia and downspouts today. Thanks, buddy. He's not dropping stuff off the roof on me, he's spilling stuff all over me. I have to rip this awning off. Now, some people like them for the kitsch factor. It's a reflection of a different time. It's not properly functioning, it's rusting, it's actually driving water right onto the front of the deck. Looks way better.
Basically, this is an older home, as we know. The eaves have been replaced at some point on this, but they are old as well. They've also been installed with nails. The new troughs will actually fasten them with an internal bracket and a screw, which don't expand and contract. These existing eaves weren't maintained very well either, so we're going to install the smart screen, keeping all the debris from these mature trees out of the gutters and helping with snow and ice.
The only wiring that left from the existing wiring is basically 3 lines. If I can't see it, if I can't follow it from point A to point B, I replaced the line because I just don't trust it. The way I treat it is, this is my home until I'm done. So if I don't trust it in my house, I'm not gonna trust it here.
We're cutting our opening for our return that's on our main floor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using this thermal pan, and what it's gonna do is it'll be fitting in this joist, and that acts as a ductwork for our return air. We cut an opening on the bottom. That way we cut it from the inside, and then we just patch the bottom. Seal it all up, and it doesn't leak.
Today we're gonna be revamping the central vac. Basically, everything has to come out of here. Everything should be glued. Everything should be airtight. And as it is now, it's not. Oh, yeah. Jesus. What we found inside this tubing is basically hair, string, lint, and everything was started by something as simple as a bobby pin. When pipes are installed properly, they're cut at a 90-degree angle. The transition from fitting to pipe is perfectly smooth. So what we're gonna do in this home is make sure all the pipes are cut properly. The ones that aren't be removed and new piping installed. We're now going to install a HEPA filter because this machine is no longer vented to the outside. Anything that may get past the filter, which really doesn't, will be trapped inside the HEPA filter. In other words, nothing's getting into the home.
First problem that I see, and it's a major problem, is kitchen sink drain is all hooked up and set up properly, but this dishwasher drain, well, not only that it came out freely, but it's connected directly to the drain. It allows the sewer gases to actually go directly into the dishwasher.
Oh, does that ever smell? Ooh. Yeah. Is that just dirty dishes over years of washing, or is that actually the methane gas coming back?
That's actually a sewer gas.
Oh my God.
This was directly connected to your sanitary line, so you had no barrier, no trap, nothing that could stop the gases from coming in. So everything that was coming from the city sewer was literally coming into this dishwasher.
That is disgusting. So every time they washed their dishes and ate off those plates, they were contaminated.
They were exposed to methane gases and sewer gases that were literally coming into this dishwasher because it was directly connected.
There we go. Oh. Okay, this is turning out to be fun.
You be on that side. I'll grab the clean side.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Well, we're providing a new dishwasher. I'm actually connecting it on the upstream side of the trap. The trap serves as a barrier to prevent from sewer gases entering the house as well as the dishwasher. So by hooking it up in the right place, I'm actually stopping any sewer gases from coming into the house.
This is the heating run that goes upstairs to the bedroom upstairs. We already had cut our one in for the floor. So once I connect all the ducts, we'll have heating in the kitchen. We'll have heating in the kids' bedroom. She'll be happy. She'll be comfortable.
This is my material to finish this job. Got to get the drywall on the ceiling today. We have to start mudding today. We have to do bulkheads today. The list is long. Very nice. Feel the house coming alive? Beautiful.
Yeah, I see no lights coming on.
No, let's try the switch.
Let's hit the switch.
How's that? Look at that! Congratulations, boys. Got a rewired house. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go let everyone know. They want to stop that generator. It's driving everyone nuts. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Wait, you hear that? I hear the birds finally. Birds. MJ! There you are. What are you up to, buddy?
I'm making baseboard right now.
You're making baseboard. Very tricky. Let me see what you're doing.
All right. I started off, I just ripped down an eighth, like this bevel here.
Okay.
So I ripped that down an eighth. Now I got to cut my angle like this, so I'm just going to use this as my template.
You are actually making baseboard. Look at you turning into a carpenter. I love it. Nice job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Well, this old paint job's sure seen some years. So when we took down the awning, we have a bit of a bare spot there. So I have to paint the whole thing today. I'm just helping Craig out a little bit today, prepping it up for him in advance for him painting out here.
It looks like there might be a bit of rain coming, so what I'm gonna do is not typical. We're gonna spray outdoors. I'm gonna use a fine finish sprayer to do this. We're covering cars, neighboring cars, so just in case there's a threat of overspray. But I'm just gonna spray this. It's gonna be much quicker for us. We can get it done. It'll have dry time in case it rains. It's not typical, but I've had enough experience with a sprayer. I'm comfortable doing it.
See you, bud. You too.
So I understand there's a little boy that lives here, so I've decided to go with a thicker underpad so he can play around, wrestle, play hockey, trucks, whatever. So we decided with a 10 mil pad, and that's also made from a recycled product. They should have a great time down here, and I know they're gonna get a lot of use out of it. It's a big improvement.
Right now, we're basically on the finishing stages, meaning we're installing all the switches, lighting fixtures, poly trims, and we're done.
Look at this, nice and clean, eh?
Isn't it?
Nice and clean.
Very clean, very crisp, new paint.
All right, how we looking in here?
Really good.
So how did we solve the issue on the outside wall?
We've insulated this whole void with spray foam, Wall-Tite Eco. So we have spray foam on all outside walls now.
This looks really good. I'm telling you, nice and clean. I'm sure that she's gonna love this. As a matter of fact, let's get her and bring her in.
All right.
And we'll go over everything.
All right.
All right, good job, pal.
Thanks, buddy.
Tell everyone else I said a good job. There she is. Virginia. Long time no see. Wasn't that long, eh?
Well,
Nice to see you again.
I almost forgot how to get here.
Well, let me show you what we did in 6 weeks. Brought in Steve Graves and all his workers, and you have new east troughs. We had to make sure that we have proper ventilation. You see the little round discs that are in there? That's now properly venting the underneath. And the 2 vents, he did replace them, and he put in critter resistance because they're the better ones.
Yeah.
We lost the canopy that's over your front deck.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But you know what? It looks better. Come take a look. I think it looks a lot better.
It does. It just opens it up.
And we had to do that for a reason. And that's because we could not get a proper full length of east trough in there, which is really important in front of your house. If you didn't have a storm door, I would have made sure you had a storm door or a canopy over top of the door. One way, one or the other, you must have. Otherwise, any rain that comes from the north will drive right into your door, and we want to stop that.
I'm very happy. Hopefully it'll be the house for me and my son that I imagined it to be from the beginning.
Want to see the inside?
Yes.
After you. This whole ceiling was down. So we could do what? We could feed electrical upstairs, we could feed all the ductwork, and you have new pot lights.
It was always so dark there, oh my goodness. I've always wanted that.
You bring in all the right people, and the right things get done.
I love it. Love it.
Now, maybe if you had a right home inspector come in here, he may have explained a few problems you had, which ended up being a lot of problems. It wasn't just simple problems. These were a lot of problems.
The next time I buy a house, I will get a home inspector and go beyond what I just seen, that if it looks nice, but actually go beyond that. And that's what a home inspection will provide me with.
Your kitchen is small, it's compact, it's cute. I have no issues with it, okay? But now when we come in to do heating, electrical, so everything was fished new from underneath for all your receptacles, your switches. You have a new pot light in the ceiling up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have a new light. One thing you're really gonna like about this in the winter now, you're gonna be warm. And you have a register at the door. That means your feet's gonna be warm. You have a register wherever you're supposed to have it, under every window, at every door. Literally, you have almost a whole new heating system throughout your house. Let's go downstairs and see downstairs. You have all new ceiling, all new lighting, all new carpet. And you think Luke is gonna like this?
No, he's gonna love it because he wants to play down here, and then of course it was just concrete. He's gonna love this.
Okay, this is another area that was necessary to drop the ceiling, right? So we can make sure we run that line. Your new register, there's your double door in the back, and again, a run for all the electrical to get upstairs. Paint it up, put in new carpet, and now he's got a room to play in.
and it's not pink and
That's
it's gonna,
right.
Yes.
That was one of the things I actually really wanted to change the first time I came in with Mike.
Yeah, it was one of those pink things that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. But you know, it's not a terrible color. It's not really the color I want. I don't think Luke wants it, and it sounds like you didn't like it. Bathroom. We had Martin come in, make sure all the plumbing was fine, all new electrical, fixed the plumbing under the sink, made sure it was vented properly, so that's good. Now let's go see the furnace room. If you look at your panel there, okay, the wiring was not too good. It was horizontal this way. So they took the panel and placed it properly, which means they had to deal with the Electrical Safety Authority, which I love these people. We have a complete surge protection on your home. So as long as these lights are green, you're protected. Gary also not only did all the new duct work and ran everything throughout the house, you remember that copper line came down.
Yes.
So that's a whole new gas line that he ran all the way through properly. And right behind you is something special as well.
Central vacuum is new.
All your pipes were just dry fitted in and just sort of squeezed in together. It was eventually going to start failing on you.
They give you the best of the best, ran the whole thing throughout the house. You even have it upstairs. You have the hose attachments. You have everything. So now you can vacuum your house nice and easy. So surprisingly, we came in for plumbing, we came in for a couple other things, and we ended up giving you all new heating, all new electrical, all new central vac, a little bit of drywall, a little bit of love.
That's right.
TLC. Good?
Dishwasher, pot lights, everything. Paint.
Yeah, a
No,
couple
very
of things,
good.
A couple of things.
Give my hug.
Hey, that's how I get paid. And you asked for a hug. I kind of like that.
I'll take the change.
It's definitely a dream come true. Whenever I used to see Mike Holmes and the Holmes Inspection, I used to think those people are so lucky to have him and his team come in. And that's all I thought about, but I never thought that it would happen to me. And I'm just so grateful that he's here and the whole team. I just cannot believe it.
Luca, I'm Mike. Nice to meet you, buddy. You got an inspection book.
Can you sign this book?
For you? Absolutely. To my buddy, Luca. Let's eat. You hungry? If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Nice.
We had no idea what kind of shape the house was in.
If it looks like a mess, it's a mess, and it's done wrong.
It was the worst inspection that could ever have possibly been done.
He had someone to fix all these problems too, so he was giving us references and seemed to be a quite extensive family.
That noise is driving me nuts. What is that noise? Lorelee and Shayne were looking for a nice house in the right neighborhood, and I think they found it. They did all the right things. Brought in a home inspector, Minor things happening, 2 thumbs up, the house is great. Well, it's not great. There's problems. Obviously, I'm here. I'm gonna have to take a look just to see what he looked at, what he missed, and what I'm gonna have to do to fix things.
When we started looking for a house, we knew this was the particular neighborhood we wanted to be in. It's close to the boardwalk, it's close to the lake, and it's only a 10-minute commute for Shane and myself to go to work. So it was the perfect area to be living in.
It was a raised bungalow, and it had a 2-car garage, and there was 5 bedrooms and a finished basement and a really, really great big backyard, which is all the things we were looking for as a starter home for our family.
When we moved into the house, we knew that we wanted to renovate the kitchen because it was pretty much original. It was 30 years old. None of the appliances worked. The cupboards were old. So that's where we knew our savings were going to go to. And based on the inspection report that didn't say there were any other major issues that we'd need to spend money on, we decided that's what we were going to do.
He was assuring us that his qualifications of an engineer and everything else were sufficient and that we were getting the best possible inspection that we could get. And in lieu of that, we've soon discovered that that wasn't necessarily the case.
Lorelee?
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Must be
to meet
Shane.
you.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I love back splits. Okay, we do have a finished rec room.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bar.
Shane actually did a repair to the vent in order to allow hot air in here because it was staying trapped above the ceiling.
Good for you for catching that. And it's simply because it's cold and you start going, hey, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Simply move the tile. You do this, you put fingerprints on the tiles, right? And you don't want a homeowner going, you put fingerprints all over my tiles. Back of your hands.
Oh, okay.
Nice and clean.
I've noticed that the drop-down ceiling is actually 3 inches lower than it needs to be. And if you look at the top of the windows, they're actually cut off.
This ceiling was not done by a professional.
No.
I can tell you right now. Why? I looked down. These are your cross tees. These are your main tees. The cross tees do not line up perfectly all the way down. You see how sloppy that is? That tells me somebody was probably, homeowners can do this. This is a DIY thing.
Yeah.
It is down 3 inches. It says in the instructions, must have 3 inches. Why? So we can get these solid tiles in and out.
Right.
You need that room to actually get the tiles in and out unless you use a flex tile, which is around 1.5 to 2 inches drop. It also explains the window drop. Okay, so somebody did a wood finish here just to bring them down. It's not a terrible thing. What is a terrible thing is not extending the heat down. So that's an issue.
When we had moved into the house, the first winter we were here was when we first really started to experience the problems that were happening, the downstairs heating being broken.
I don't see a register in the ceiling. It's not in the report. Why don't I see a register in the ceiling? All right, I do see junction points, which is fine because this is a lowered ceiling, so it's a suspended ceiling. So far, I don't see any ductwork. I don't see any ductwork. Why? The home inspector actually missed something very important. No heat in this room, no heat upstairs.
This is Shane's office, and there's no heat that comes up through that
You have
register.
no heat through that register. None. None.
In my home office spaces also translates into my home practice room and mini studio. I have to make sure, especially with some of my instruments, that they're packed away within their cases, because if I leave them out, because of the quality of the wood, they can crack.
When we moved in, every window in the house was broken, so all the latches were broken off of them and there were steel rods holding them in place. Water comes in from them if the rain is driving in a certain direction.
These are the things that home inspectors should be looking for. I read nothing about this in the report at all.
That's right, he didn't say anything
I'd like to
about
see
it.
a picture of this. Talk about it, that water's come in. It's the old style windows. Okay.
Madison doesn't sleep in her nursery because the window is broken, and I'm not gonna leave her in there by herself at night when we're in a completely separate room. So her crib is now in our room, and that's where the 3 of us stay.
Nice little house, man. You got squeaky floors. I hate squeaky floors. So no exhaust fan, door 2. Oh, we have exhaust fan in the
other room.
The washroom area,
Yeah.
the toilet area.
Yeah.
Most importantly, we want to pull out the humidity from the shower.
Right.
This is why you have surface mold in here.
We clean that bathroom so often because that's where we bathe Madison, and we can't stay ahead of the mold that grows in there.
Any other issues down here?
Yes.
Yes.
One more.
During one of the major rainstorms, we noticed that we basically, on our rain spouts, we're basically having a flood in our basement laundry room.
That particular issue actually really angers me because when we were outside with the inspector, we pointed that out to him and we said, the eaves troughs look like they're bent. Is that going to be a problem? And he said, absolutely not. It'll still hold the water. It'll still drain the way it's supposed to drain. And the water actually just gushes over the side of both of them, pools on the bottom, and then leaks into the house. So there was nothing about it in the report.
All right, I've seen enough with you. I'm gonna go through the rest of the house by myself. I'm gonna take a good look, and I'm gonna bring you back and tell you what I find. And I get Damon probably to open up all kinds of things. And I'll show you what I find. I'll fix it. I'll make it right.
Great.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Great meeting you.
Once it's warmer down there, it'll be nice to be able to take Madison down there and play with her because I can't do it right now unless she's in a coat.
You know, maybe I'll bring my drums and we'll play. I'm kidding.
I don't
Nice jam
mind. She
session.
don't mind, but I've got some
I'm
extra
kidding.
drums upstairs too.
Oh,
If
you
don't
do?
want some hand drums.
You play the bongos?
No, I just belly dance, that's it.
Just belly dance. What a mix. We're gonna make it right together. Was this tile left out when you saw this house?
He actually moved that tile.
Yeah.
Oh, he moved this tile.
Yeah.
He opened it, he looked up, and he's like, oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, no, that's not fine. And since he pulled this tile down, he should pull down a lot more tiles and take a look.
When we had moved into the house, the first winter we were here was when we first really started to experience the problems that were happening. The downstairs heating being broken, and I was pregnant at the time, and it was just one worry after another, and I was already having a pregnancy that, you know, had a little bit of trouble to it, so I didn't need the extra worries happening.
Here we go. I'm gonna start in here simply because we have no heat here, and I'm gonna pull down a few tiles. Why is there no heat in this room? It's not even connected. I will figure it out. Okay, so that main trunk comes across here, right across the ceiling. They're gonna come off that main trunk, they're gonna come through, have a 90 elbow, a run across here. That's 190, that's 290s, that's 390s, that's 490s. 490s, 4 times 8 is 32. That's the equivalent to an extra 32 feet of duct line. The furnace is 2/3 of the way up the back of the house. Add that equivalent and run, we don't have enough airflow. What we wanna make sure is that we have insulation in the ends, which we do. So that's all good. I don't care if there's no vapor barrier. It doesn't meet minimum code today for whenever this was done. As far as I see the insulation, I'm fine. Look how dirty that is. Air movement, what we don't see in our air. That's barely even in there. So that should have been addressed. Sounds like there's a bunch of frogs in there. That would drive me insane, sleeping upstairs. It's always something new. Definitely don't like the pipe catch. Got some tissue in there, stop the methane gases from getting in the house. You think that stops it? Wires are properly clipped that I see in the box. That's correct. So we do have lines that are not stapled, which means some of this work, the spaghetti factory of cable lines and electrical, was done without a permit, I'm gonna assume. Look at that, eh? Smart people. Mr. Bennett, timing's everything. Follow me.
All right. Those are going, aren't they?
Yeah, there's no locks on the windows, they're leaking. We have a wood sill that shows as being the actual wood's being absorbed. Water's absorbing it and it's flaking up the paint. Is it an issue? Minor, yes. Will it eventually get inside? The answer is yes. Should they have new windows? The answer is yes. That was 3 yeses in a row, eh? See the black?
Yes, I do.
Not a good sign. I want you to go up in the attic. I want to check the ventilation. I want to check to see if we have issues with mold. Since Steve is here, let's look at it to see what we need to do, because I got a bad feeling.
Okay.
And I hate my bad feelings. There's an issue. That box is not attached to the wall. That's a bad sign. How much electricity runs through here? Lots. I'm not even gonna mess with this, but I will be calling in Frank.
Ooh, okay.
Let's make sure that we take advantage of these. Let's get one somewhere else, one here, and have the downspouts run in.
Okay.
Don't run your electrical through the freaking ductwork. Jesus, what's the matter with people? I love to do that, by the way. We have a minor complaint from the homeowners from that downspout right there. That's an awful lot of water that comes to all the C-strough around the house, which forces all that water down here as much as possible and goes down to the weeper. That's got to come out of there. It needs to be relocated. As far as I'm concerned, all new E-troughs and downspouts throughout the house. Let's go inside. I got all kinds of things to show you.
Okay.
Now, the fireplace upstairs, let's bring in a wet certified person to just ensure that it's in fine working condition. The only time that a home inspector can say this is fine is if he's wet certified. Not for water, okay? It's W-E-T-T. It is a certification within the fire industry, within fireplaces. And if he is not wet certified, you can't tell someone it's fine to use the fireplace. Have it checked. Wood-burning fireplace is the #1 fire problem within a home. Have it checked. So, bros, we need heat running in this room. We need all this connected, redone. Okay. Since Frank's in, let's have him check everything. I haven't seen a lot in electrical, but enough to say there's issues. In the laundry room, I pulled down a lot of the ceiling. Sorry, pardon me, excuse me. Due to it being completely dangerous, and I'll explain why. See what they've done? I bent that one back. They didn't lock it in the main.
Right.
Here's a connection point here, here, here. And it's increments of 6 inches. This is supposed to lock into that area, right? And the other one locks into that, and they won't come out again. It's really, really a good system, providing you do it right. These lines do not line up to the other one, which means whoever did the main tees, they don't know how to do it. They just cut it and fit it. And no wonder they bent all these, because they wouldn't have locked into place. This is a gas water heater. We have a Y here. I'm a little concerned with the Y, and I want to confirm everything's fine.
Especially with that.
Yeah, especially with that. Inspector should have caught that, so shame on him.
Yep. That wasn't so bad. One sheet of paper this time.
Not bad. Keep up the good work. Well, that's the start. Let's see where it goes from there.
He had said he'd done, many houses, the inspections on like hundreds of houses, and
see, that makes me nervous, because if he missed all this, what did he miss in the other houses?
Okay, first day here after meeting with Mike. Now, we're gonna drop all the ceiling tiles today because we have a big day with trades today. I have electrical coming in today to check out all the wiring. I have the plumbers coming today, and I also have HVAC coming today. Everyone needs to see beyond this point. So we're gonna start by protecting everything today and then start on the tiles. Just getting into it.
I'm ready.
Watch the run. Come on in, Martin. Thanks for coming by on a rainy day.
Hey, anytime.
Mike just wants a thorough investigation of this fireplace. It's part of our inspection, so we just want to make sure that it meets with code.
Okay.
Tell me what you're going to do with it.
We're going to double check, make sure things are good. We've got enough hearth clearance out front. I can tell by the grills that it's a heat form fireplace.
Right.
I want to make sure nobody's living in there. It's never good to see a pair of eyes looking back at you. It's always a bad sign. I can see some water staining, so somewhere at the top we do have some water coming in. It's most likely either a cracked tile at the very top or just some masonry that's deteriorated. At the moment, it's a little dirty on the inside, but other than that, I don't see any major issues. Everything first appearance looks really good down here. Maybe go outside and dust myself off a little. So we've got perfect weather today with a little bit of rain. We can see we've got cracks in the crown, but we can also see wet and dry spots on the chimney. The trigger of this is the drip edge. The indentation on the underside of the concrete cap here is not far enough away from the brick. I believe the 3 tiles below this top one are all cracked, which isn't exactly what we wanted to see. They look like just hairlines. But even a hairline crack once heated can open up as much as a full centimeter. Now, worst case scenario is always chimney fire. Heat and smoke migration through the voids leads to creosote buildup and increased risk of fire in any areas the chimney runs through.
So you're saying that this thing could either explode or fall in on itself just by having a cracked flue?
Yes.
That is unbelievable, and now I understand your recommendation on why they have to be replaced.
A lot of people want the fan on the bathroom side for obvious reasons, but you also need it on the shower side.
You have a bathroom that creates steam, and it's separated. It's 2 fans. Fan for the toilet side, fan for the shower side. Against code anymore, you can't use the window as a venting purpose for a bathroom. Gas lines look pretty good. I don't see any illegal connections other than these copper fittings.
What about the T connection right here?
The T connection's fine, but the thing I like the best about this is this tank was replaced 2 years ago. This venting's no longer allowed. You can't use aluminum venting anymore.
Is that right?
So this needs to be replaced. Another quick one, it's just a simple, pipe that's not connected, so we gotta get that connected, get some air, figure out where it's going to.
And you notice obviously the dryer line, it's looping like this, it's uninsulated, heat meeting cold, bringing in condensation, and the water will sit in that elbow, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what else, bud? Anything else?
In the room over here, we got a couple heating runs. Walking here, you already feel that it's cold, so it's looking like getting a heating run in this room. It's gonna be opening up some drywall ceiling, some walls, figuring out how to get something in here. And then we're gonna have a small opening in this wall for return, because I've noticed nowhere in this basement is a return air.
All right, so we have some work to do for you. There's a lot of moisture coming through here. You have a lot of water stains in this area. They've noticed water stains coming down here. All right, so I want you to open up this whole thing. Look at the amount of mold on this thing. Look at that all the way up here. I've already looked upstairs. There's no way to get into that stack without ripping off some tile. Okay. Which I do not want to do. There's the new kitchen on one side and we have the bathtub on the other.
If it's manageable from here, what I can do is I can cut all this out, and having slight access, I can just replumb everything, right?
That's a great idea. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We have some mold issues on the roof, which is not a big deal. It's a surface mold because there's absolutely no venting. I do see a couple of leaks. I see some wet spots up there that I want Steve Grays to check out next.
The roof is undervented. We've got large 75 square inch roof vents, but there's only 3 of them. Based on the size of the roof, there should have been about 4 of them, or 5 to 6 regular sized vents. So we'll have to add some more vents. Allowing proper amount of ventilation is going to prevent any condensation or moisture issues in the attic. It'll extend the life of the structure, the wood itself, as well as the shingles on the roof. This roof is relatively new. We want to maximize the life of those shingles. As you can see here, we've got a ridge vent installed. Basically what it is an extruded plastic product that flex fits to the various pitches of the roof. It's right at the peak of the roof. It helps exhaust that air more efficiently, more effectively.
Mr. Graves, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
You are a good guy, you know that, eh?
Thanks, Mike.
You are a good guy.
See, he doesn't even turn around, he just keeps working.
Yeah, he's busy. Good job, guys. Thanks, Damon.
All right, buddy.
Any issues?
I'll call you.
As a certified technician, as soon as I see cracked flue tiles, I have to say that the chimney and the fireplace should not be used as is.
So we have a cracked liner, a cracked flue, which means they cannot use it. When it's heated up, it expands to up to a half-inch, fire gets out, and he said that chimney, when heated with that much fire, will actually explode or implode.
This is not the best wood-burning fireplace anyway, so let's go ahead, let's get aim back, and let's pull it out. Let's do a proper liner in the chimney.
Excellent. Let's make it good.
Gary, how are you, buddy?
Not bad, and yourself?
Long time no see. This one's minor, right?
Yeah.
So just some sloppy work and a little bit of cleanup will fix it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
At least the homeowner, you know, he's the one that figured it out, that the heat was like heating the floor and not coming down. So he extended that, yes, that's actually what he did.
That's exactly what he did.
Wrong tape, but
yeah.
It's creative. Go outside and take a look. Thanks, Gare.
No problem.
Keep making it right, buddy. Let's bring the homeowners through, let them see what they need to see, and then we'll make it right. So as you can see, we like to protect the house.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fireplace for a second, because in the report, the home inspector actually said the fireplace is fine, you can use the fireplace. Right. Did you ask him if he was certified to look at a fireplace?
No, we didn't even know to ask that question.
Okay, well now you do, because that fireplace you can't use. There's a crack in the flute, and it's no longer any good, so you cannot use it.
We've used the fireplace since we've moved in as a wood-burning fireplace with no idea whatsoever that there could have been a fire.
We have people working on the back. Steve Graves is there. We're going to be doing a whole new spacious soffit, new east draft, new downspouts, kick them out, avoid the leaks that we have in the basement.
Wonderful.
And that's all coming from the downspout.
The blue room.
Wow.
Okay.
Looks very different without that hideous.
Well, this is the room without the heat, and it was very simply understood. What happened when somebody did the renovation here, all the heat runs were proper and standard to the house, within reason, okay? You know, they dropped the ceiling, they didn't drop the ductwork like you did.
Yes.
When they put this wall up, the register's on the other side of that wall in your wonderful bar area, and they didn't bring it into this room. So it was missed by the inspector. There is no heat. We're easily going to fix this by bringing it into this room. Your panel, we're gonna bring in Frank. They've done a lot of electrical searching, and go ahead, Damon, you say what he's found.
Right now, you are maxed out in terms of the circuits you can put in that thing. And it's for future use. If you guys ever want to add anything, you have no dedicated lines. They're going to dedicate some lines for you on that, and they have no room to go. So they're going to give you a panel with some more space.
I want to talk about more electrical, like the lights in here, you know, the amateur work, how we see the junction points and all the ties, and it's not terrible, it's just not right. We're going to pull a permit, we're going to check everything, and once that's closed off, that means this house is safe electrically. Because the right people are in here. But this light, you know, you don't put it up with drywall screws. Now, I'm not even going to pull on that, because I guarantee all I have to do is grab that light and do this.
And this is the safest light in the basement. The other ones were worse.
Basically, as a homeowner, if it looks like a mess, it's a mess, and it's done wrong.
Somewhere above this area, we have a leak, and it is in the main stack itself. We're going to try and figure out whether it's coming from the sink that ties into the stack. We do have a long run from this point over to the wall. Somebody's done something, and we don't have air behind water here. So we don't have enough air. It is catching air because it's close to the stack, but when it comes to the codes, it's not within minimum code.
The home inspection was worth nothing.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I mean, it's so disheartening that you pay the money expecting a professional to be a professional and to know his job, and then finding out later anybody can be a home inspector.
Now, I don't want to say this inspector doesn't know what they're doing. But unfortunately, I'm going to say they don't know enough.
Yeah.
And then that's not a good thing, because the little things we found become dangerous, become very expensive, and if we look at everything we're about to do in your home, you're in the 60 grand range.
With $60,000 of extra work that has to occur to the house, that's just, it's unbelievable to me that they can get away with doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Now, this drain is still driving me insane, because I still hear it. What did Martin say?
Changing everything from the tap over. The tap is faulty at this point, so
I
he's
was
going to replace
correct.
that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. No big deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You keep smiling. You're going to have to stay out of the house for a bit, because it's going to be uncomfortable.
No.
We'll make it right.
All right,
Thank
we
you.
trust you will.
There's a big weight lifted off of you because you know it's going to be fixed, and it's going to be fixed correctly.
Absolutely.
And we can go in and actually live and enjoy living in the house. You're not going to be scared about it anymore.
Done right.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Getting the heating run in.
Good. Yeah, you are getting that in. That's nice. You're almost done this side.
Yeah.
You have any issues so far?
We got one. I need to get the heating run into that room in the front.
Yeah.
It's looking like we may have to bust open that closet.
I see. Oh my, that is a lot of food we got to move. There you go. There's no job small enough for me. This is the moment. Heat in the room. That's a pretty good flow, I'd say. Nice, warm room. Very nice.
I'm putting a shut-off on this connection here. You can see the old connection doesn't have one. And these copper lines, you're not allowed to use these anymore. They're against code. So it's removing these copper lines, putting in a shut-off. I'm not a big copper fan, so I use a different product. I think it's a lot easier. It's aluminum, flexible, with some rubber coating on it. Just a lot easier to work with.
So that's the culprit.
Once I opened that up, I discovered that this MG coupling is not even applied properly. So those clamps are not actually holding the rubber piece properly.
Well, this one would be, but this one's not on anything.
That's exactly, that just holds the ABS, and it's obviously not a watertight. So what I ended up doing is I applied ABS coupling, which was glued into the existing ABS pipe. That gives me a permanent connection without any potential for leaks.
We've got a loose meter base that's coming off the foundation of the house, and it's the homeowner's responsibility to have that fastened with an electrician. We've isolated the power to this home, pulled our meter off, and we've checked that we have 0 voltage in our meter base. It's all good to go.
Right now, for the next couple of hours, we're running on generator. So hopefully we got enough gas.
Minor electrical issues, lots of junction points in the house. Minor, nothing major, but one thing that was found with your microwave.
When you have a microwave, you never put the cord underneath it. They have vents that come out from underneath the microwave, and it melts your wires. You have exposed wires on your microwave line at this point. Morning, Joe. How are you?
Hi, Damien. How you doing?
You can see all the windows are coming out today. All wooden jambs rotting right out. They need to be replaced.
We have some water damage here on the drywall. There's a leakage through the window. No weather stripping whatsoever on it. The most important thing about installing a window over a door is to apply drip cap underneath the window above the door to prevent water from seeping through behind the door. Very important. Not many people do that these days.
Hey, boys. Is this baby Madison's window?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's a good thing we're replacing these windows. They were very nervous about the windows that were in place. As you saw, they used all these little sticks and stuff for safety, right? There was no latches on there. There's no safety features on these windows anymore at all.
These windows are all forced entry proof. Once it locks automatically, and this latch will not open, and you have to release this button for them to open, or else they will never open from the inside.
It looks great, buddy. Nice job, guys.
All right,
Thanks, bud.
The house is approximately 40 years old. The plywood soffit was the standard then. Now we use pre-painted aluminum to finish the eaves. That way it's maintenance-free. We're gonna remove all these existing eaves troughs. We'll be installing new seamless troughs, but with a single hand seam miter in the corner versus a factory corner, and that really should minimize any problems. Looks like it's been leaking since day one. We've got only a small 2x3 downpipe. We'll go with a large downpipe instead. Because we have a lot of eaves trough here and really only 2 locations for downpipe.
I see they have 2 rain barrels that we can use to disperse the water at the 2 new locations and extend the downspouts right into the yard.
As long as we can get it to the property line, you know, these bushes will soak up a lot of that water.
Right.
And then the rain barrel in the nicer weather, they can utilize the rainwater for gardening and,
right,
and that
whatever
sort of
else they want to do.
Well, the reason why I'm rewiring the bathroom, we could have left the junction box in the ceiling and put an access panel. problem is it's over a shower. We're gonna have moisture getting there if we have an access panel. We got the ceilings open, let's just fix it. If you do have to have a junction box, make sure to leave an access panel. Because even though we're electricians, we're not magicians. We cannot see behind walls.
What we see here is where the cavity of the flue tile that's supposed to come all the way down, be self-supported just above the opening here to the heat form. You can see the detailing here. So you've got 3 sides of flat ledge in a hidden area to absorb and contain creosote. If nesting were to come down, none of that stuff's supposed to be there. This is supposed to be a nice smooth transition, so everything comes down the chimney, goes into the heat form, so it can easily be removed.
Down just a bit, a little more. That's good.
This is what I've discussed with Mike, and I really like the idea, actually, is we're gonna actually give them a drywall ceiling in here. We're gonna bring it up past the height that they originally had. You can see the line where their T-bar ceiling originally was? Yeah. I wanna get it up a little bit higher. We're gonna give them nice pot lights. And at the end of it, we're gonna give them a nice little built-in behind that bar.
Nice.
Make it feel a little bit more homey than it already was.
What I've done is I've actually centered them to the bar, not the actual opening.
Right.
So you got the lights that come down center to the bar area.
That looks really good, and the lights are a little bit spaced out. They're not straight down the middle. It's looking really good. I'm really happy with it.
So we're almost done in this room, and you can start drywalling.
Thank you very much, buddy. So no access panels in the ceiling?
No access panels whatsoever.
Let's get it in. Now, we still have a lot of work to do. It makes me a little nervous, but it's not anything we have never done before. So, a lot of work. I have the right guys to do it, and we'll get it done.
Demo! Yo! Power's on! Turn off the Jenny!
Okay, guys, let's pull the temporary power and start plugging into walls. We got the power back up.
The biggest trick with MDF cabinets are the edges. You can spray it and it'll basically just disappear. It soaks right in. So what you have to do is actually hit it with a roller or a brush. 3 to 4 coats to make it really cover, sand in between the coats, and then it'll leave a nice smooth finish.
Let's take a look.
All right.
bulkhead's done. You built a nice little water meter cover.
Yeah, it's just something to hide it because whoever put it in buried it in the wall. We wanted to actually hide how ugly it was.
Okay, so we have all our lines run. We did a drop-down tile, very nice. New lights, I think they're gonna like that.
That's
nice
well
and safe. Good job.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Hey, Lorelee, Shayne, how you doing?
We've come home.
Come on up.
That's right.
You're gonna hold your new hand.
I know, I was gonna say, this is nice.
Really?
I like.
Can you see how strong that is?
70s.
How are you? Nice to see you again.
Hello.
Sir Shayne,
how are you?
Good, thank you.
You know, Keith is so good about these handrails that he was able to use the existing holes. And one of the hardest things you can do is to replace a rail, especially from a metal to a wood.
Yeah, right.
Is to actually take a good look at it and say, hey, he's tied this in. It doesn't even look like he did anything.
Yeah.
Guardrail. Okay, new codes, it says a guardrail. This is considered a guardrail, 36 inches high. So, and I like that. Let's make it stronger. Let's make it better. We do have that little girl in the house that's going to be getting bigger.
Yes,
Let's
that's true.
walk over there.
I love it.
Well, it is.
It's an actual fire.
You know what?
There's an actual
It's
fire
really
fireplace,
your
and
fireplace.
I love it.
We
You guys are so awesome, right? Thank you.
I'm getting paid already. What they did is instead of putting in a new insert, they actually went in from the top. They went outside. They broke out bricks. They put in this wonderful tool. It's called the beater tool. Now put it down through the chimney, okay, and it'll beat the clay out. So what they did was to pull out the bricks was to remove the debris instead of allowing it to come down and ruin your fireplace. And then to reinstall a stainless steel insert from the fireplace directly up to a total top to make it right up to code, right up to safety issues. So I'm happy to say your fireplace can be used.
Thank you.
I love you guys. Thank you.
The house feels like a home now. It feels like it's just ready to be moved in.
We have all new windows throughout the whole first floor of your house. Every single window has a child safety lock, and I really love this, and it's really simple. You see this little lever right here. You push in that lever, you pull up your top, okay, and this is just the way to do this. Slide your window over, grab your clips, pull the window out, nice and simple, clean the inside, clean the outside.
Awesome. Shayne, that's going to be so easy for you.
Okay, and it's as simple as this. Just push it back in frame, nice and simple. Just push it right back in frame, push it in place, put her over, lock her down. Let's talk about your bathroom. You have 2 new exhaust fans in your bathroom, so we don't have to worry about mold anymore by the shower. They're quiet. You're gonna love it. They don't.
Nice.
I mean, you can actually hear yourself. It's like, is that fan on?
Right. The other one was like an airplane engine,
Yes.
right?
I love it to have the people that come in and say, I want to do this. You know, Dominic, the window guy, is like, no, we'll do this. We'll do this. You know, add the extra. Steve, Steve Graves coming in and not only fixing up the fascia to soffit, making sure it breathes properly. You do have the ridge vent on the roof. That's the highest point. We love that. Hot air rises, but we got to bring it in from the soffit to allow that air to go out through that ridge vent. Perfect. And he throws in new shutters.
I'm thrilled with the front of the house and the rain barrels being connected up and the shutters being new and gray instead of that hideous green that they were. So, I mean, we're not the eyesore on the street anymore, which is really nice.
Oh, wow. Okay, so all new ceiling, all new lights. Brought in a whole new line, so this is all new bulkhead. Bringing in that whole new line, making sure we have a register in the ceiling.
No more cracking instruments. I don't have to worry about making sure that the instruments stay in their cases all the time, and I can do my work and my practicing in peace.
You have a brand new panel.
It's great.
That's Frank. That's Joe. His company Solutions. I love these guys. They do it right. We had to bring in Hydro. Hydro shuts down the power for us. We got to thank them for stepping up for the time that we need. Shut it down. Put in the new panel. You remember the post outside? That's where the meter was.
Yes.
It was away from the wall. Okay, that's not a good thing. That's a really dangerous thing. That meter's got. That's where all the main power is. So they've resecured that to the wall. The new tags on it. Everything's been passed. ESA's happy about everything, and it looks clean.
Now that room is perfect. It's got heating, it's got proper electrical in it, it's got a beautiful new light in it, so it can be used for a bedroom, it can be used for an office, it can be used for anything we want because now it's livable, which is just amazing.
Now let's go to your furnace room.
Wow.
Okay, we'll start with this side.
Okay.
Now you have a proper access panel to get to your drain. Okay. It is now vented through the ceiling, gone up properly. Making sure that everything works in here was important. Now that black, you see that in the corner over there?
Yeah.
That is the exhaust fan from?
That is the exhaust fan from our bathroom fan right here.
Oh.
So did we put in a new fan here?
Absolutely.
You are such a good guy. He's a good guy.
Thank you.
I didn't know he did that, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
So that's a good thing. Now, Damon's doing what I do. He's like, you know, we did these, we had to do this. So you have a brand new one, which the line runs across here. And the reason it's black is because it's wrapped with insulation. And we want to do that about a few feet from the wall to keep that pipe warm because it's based on an outside pipe. Now, let's look at the furnace for a second. It almost looks like nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
No.
You would think
It's a new coily thing.
Ah, very good. Bringing in the Bros, not only did they run the new line out there, but they put in a new flex line and now makes it totally safe. Once again, now we're safe on electrical, we're safe on a fire, and we're safe on gas. The three biggest things, and I'm going to talk about safety in a house.
Yeah.
When Craig Lowe came in to paint everything, of course, we're going to use what?
Low VOC paint.
Right.
Thank you.
Very important. I don't hear water.
I was gonna say, that's a new
It's a little
faucet. I don't
quiet.
drip, drip all the time.
Every time I stepped in this room, I had to go to the bathroom. Every time I was like, man, I gotta go pee. I don't hear it anymore. Martin, again, not only fixed all the issues up there, but he ran in new shutoffs that we have for the washer machine, new taps, and we have, most importantly, that prime that comes off to make sure water goes to the trap every time you turn on the tap.
They did such a wonderful job. We got so much more than we thought we could.
You can actually, you know, enjoy our time down here together rather than worrying about, you know, flooding.
Yeah. It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Want to go to the other room?
Yeah.
Okay. No looking yet.
No looking?
Well, it's, you know what? It's what is it? I mean, it looks like you got a new ceiling.
I got a new ceiling.
And it's not a drop ceiling.
The drop-down ceiling is gone.
But look what else, you have lights.
I know.
Proper lights.
And nice lights.
Windows are actually being fully used now. If you remember, they were.
I can actually see the top. I can see
so
the
we
top.
just opened them up just a little bit for you.
That's nice. That is brilliant.
We don't have to sit down here and worry about whether the ceiling's going to cave in on us or, you know, it's just amazing.
So you can turn around, and this is.
I'm never going to get him out of here.
This is a simple bar.
Yeah.
Somebody put it up a counter. We just did a little bit of love touch. That's all we did. Now let me say who did this, because this is important. Okay. My daughter, my son, Sherry and Michael, they actually together designed this.
Absolutely. Oh, wow.
They actually together built it and then put it in place.
The house looks just wonderful.
Oh,
they just
it's
went above and
amazing.
beyond,
It's
and
amazing,
we're thrilled.
so-
We're really thrilled.
And to have the nice touch of just the shelves and behind the bar that were done by Mike's kids, just, you know, it's
That's pretty special.
It's just added to such a wonderful family room. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. We were actually talking about putting in shelves.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we
at
couldn't
one
figure
point
out
in
what we
time, we were like,
wanted,
well,
and-
how are we gonna do it and everything else? Because you know, where we're gonna get them from? Are they gonna be nice enough or anything else? But
Well, we have
now-
a bet. We have a bet whether they're going to be filled with toys or. Because I have a feeling this is going to become a whole different room in about 10 years.
Cheers.
Yay! It's done. It looks amazing.
You guys are awesome. And these guys are awesome. I'm proud of both of you. I think you did a really good job on this, the bar shelves. I really do. You're getting...
Thanks, Pops.
Oh, love you. Love you. Anyway.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute?